Hmm. Welcome. Welcome. I'm really glad you're here. This is going to be a very different simple steps to peace. The number 16. Yeah. And the way it's going to be different is I don't have a lot to say for myself today. And I just tried and didn't come up with much that I could say, yeah, I got this insight, this difference. So, one thing I like to do is notice whose birthday it is today, and then notice, read some of their quotes to get some inspiration. Well, today is Leon Spinks' birthday. He was the heavyweight champion of the world. But before we get to that, I am Jeff Hicks, and I guide seekers inward, noticing thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that they'd like to change and using them as gateways, entries into even deeper understanding and uh, transformation, maybe even transcendence, all on the inside rather than looking for something out there. So, Leon Spinks, yeah, um, he got hit a lot in his boxing career. Through most of the time that he was really famous, he had lost his two front teeth, and didn't bother to hide it. He eventually lost all four of his front teeth. And here's the first quote I'd like to share from Leon Spinks. I know a lot of people think I'm dumb. Well, at least I ain't no educated fool. He grew up in St. Louis, in East St. Louis, got beat on a lot. His claim to fame was that in his eighth professional boxing bout, he beat the great Muhammad Ali. He was a nobody, but he uh, stood there and took Muhammad Ali's punches and the punches throughout his career. And when he stepped in the ring with Ali, an amazing thing happened. It's considered one of the great upsets in boxing history. Um, you may ask, well, hey, Jeff, this is supposed to be about focusing inward. Why are you talking about some old boxer? Well, let's listen to some things that Leon Spinks understood living his life. May not be the life that we want to live, but it was the life that he was given. He said, opportunity knocks only once, and you'll never know if you'll get another opportunity. He did have another opportunity to receive the punches from Larry Holmes, another incredibly strong boxer. He lost in the third round. Here's what Leon says: I never did think I had brain damage. Ain't that the truth? When we are living in our mind, we don't notice, or don't often notice, how uh, our brain, our mind, our processes might be a little different than they might have had or might have been in the past. You can't do nothing but try if you still got it in your heart. There's one thing that Leon Spinks had. It was heart. I'm going to keep going, he said. And here's a guy who was at the top of his chosen world, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. He was in my old stomping grounds of Highland Park, Michigan, where through an unfortunate series of events, he lost his fur coat and his false teeth. But He says, I'm happy about life, still trying. I ain't giving up on life. God gave me the strength to see, breathe, and talk. Well, I'm still breathing. He said something kind of interesting here. Leon Spinks said, if I can give you some kind of knowledge of life, you should listen. And here we are. Leon Spinks passed away earlier this year. We're learning something from him. If I can give you some kind of knowledge of life, you should listen. You do the best you can. And he did. And Leon Spinks said, I have no regrets. How can we live through life? This living with no regrets. One way is to notice what is always here and what seems to pass away. You can just notice a peace that is in, around, and throughout all. It doesn't have boundaries, no form, doesn't respect time or space because it's beyond all that. It's the peace that passes understanding. And you can notice that this peace is always here. Thoughts, hey, they come up. Can't seem to stop them. And we don't have to believe them when we notice that they're just passing by. On top of, within, through this peace. And whenever the thoughts pass by, this peace is available. I do hope he serves you. Happy birthday, Leon Spinks. And I will talk with you next time.